Yeah, my father-in-law has one of those electric drywall sanders with the vacuum.
Can we use that?
Yeah, I borrowed it from him.
Oh, did you do some sanding?
No, not yet.
Is this kind of like a Today's Craftsman? Not today. Yeah,
Yeah,
Today's
it's
Craftsman.
like the American Craftsman podcast reimagined.
Yeah, so we figured we'd just fill you in on some of the things that are going on because Jeff's been swamped, I've been swamped.
Mm-hmm.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah.
So I partnered with a company called RTA and Coyote Outdoor Living. So I worked with Coyote Outdoor Living about 6 or 7 years ago when I did the outdoor kitchen with the barn.
I remember that.
Yeah, they work with RTA, and RTA does all the, it's kind of like a modular kitchen setup.
Right.
So it's all made out of concrete or whatever you decide to go for your finish. And so I put it together this weekend with my sons. But in order to do that, I had to pour a slab that was about 32 inches by 9 feet. So it's kind of been a progression of getting little things done to get this job done. And once everything is sort of finished, then I'll be making content. And I have to make quite a bit of content because it's a pretty expensive kitchen that they set and all the appliances. So it's a big commitment on my end to make the content, but it's worth it. So the kitchen is, I would say, 80% set up. I still need to do the where the garbage can goes and do the trim work on that. And then tomorrow I'm pouring a slab for the charcoal grill. Now, when I did the long slab, that was a dry pour. And I did that because I thought it would be easier. It's sort of all over the internet.
Seems like that's like the whole reason behind it. It's like, well, it's easier than...
I wouldn't do it again. It was a ton of work. I mean, and also I'm familiar with a regular traditional pour.
Yeah.
I know what to expect. Another reason why I did that is just the idea of hand mixing 11 80-pound bags of concrete. I mean, I did, I think, 18 bags in one day.
Jeez.
And made the forms when I did the dust collection shed, but that was about 10 years ago. And I mean, there's a big difference between 48 and 58.
Yeah.
So just from doing the work that I've been doing, the outside work, I'm like, wow, this is like a lot of exercise. And then combine that, what we've been doing over in your office.
Yeah, the sheetrock.
Yeah. Were you kind of tired out from that sheetrock job?
Yeah, I was sore the next day. You know, because it's like a lot of like gripping and like lifting like this. You know, I sent you that video yesterday. That guy with that 12-foot sheet, he just stands it up like that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, he ripped that. I mean, he did it all in 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
He took the measurements and cut it and put it up.
And yeah, pushed it to the ceiling and screwed it in. You know, we were just dealing with 8-footers. Granted, it was 5/8, but still. It's just like not a motion that you. It's like this, like whatever, this raise in the front like that while ripping something.
You don't do it all the time.
Yeah,
and even just going up and down the ladder, like leaning. I must have been leaning against the ladder with my shin or something, while I was screwing everything in. I had like a bruise on my shin. I'm like, holy cow, this is like, I'm not cut out for this kind of work.
And
anymore.
your hands get really dry from the sheetrock is like. It's like a sponge. It sucks all the moisture out of your hands, you know?
Yeah, it really does. It's like concrete.
Yeah.
So that's, if you've been following along, that's part of a bigger project that we're doing with Van Dyke's Restorers and potentially Touchstone. Touchstone makes TV lift cabinets. I think that'll come together. I just got to reach out to them again.
Yeah.
You probably got CC'd on that email from Van Dyke's.
Yep.
I'll probably have a call with them like this time next week just to kind of go over some of the details. So we're turning Jeff's office into a kitchen cabinet showroom that will highlight all of Van Dyke's products.
Yep, which I'm using like a bunch of right now anyway.
Yeah, you use the feet, the brass feet on the bottom of the walnut. Was that Van Dyke's? On that island, that kitchen island.
Oh, yeah, that was, the legs. Those came as one, walnut leg with the brass ferrule on the bottom.
Oh, I thought it was just a ferrule.
No, the whole thing came from Van Dyke's. Those, we got the mesh, got that job coming up with the caning in the doors, a bunch of stuff.
When you finished the walnut legs with the ferrule on the bottom, did you just mask it out?
Yeah. So the ferrule is actually it's just four sides. There's no bottom. So we masked it off. I sprayed the bottom of the leg, and I sprayed. You could probably like get it off somehow, but then if you put finish on the walnut, then you got to get it back on there. So yeah, we just taped it
It
off.
looked nice. It's a nice detail.
Yeah.
And is there a lacquer finish on that brass? You think it's going to tarnish?
I think it was just satin brass. Yeah, probably. All the hardware in the kitchen is unlacquered brass, so
it's all going to tarnish.
yeah.
And that's what the client wanted. So you've been super busy.
Yeah. So we're trying to wrap up this big kitchen. The schedule got totally disjointed. Typically, we build it in the shop 100%, and then we install it. And it's, whatever. It takes a week to install it. But this, it's like, first they moved the install up like 3 weeks, and then it ended up moving up an additional week. So it was like a month sooner than planned. Like we should just be getting into install now. We were there September, I forget.
And is that the builder, or does the client just want to get in the house?
Well, all the demo and all the other subs and everything happened a lot faster than they had planned, but there were all these changes to the site, so I had to redesign basically the whole kitchen. And so like I'm producing drawings and putting it into production in a matter of like a couple days, where typically you have like a month of engineering where you can like do it nice and slow and make sure everything is the way you need it, that everything is correct before it hits the shop floor. So it's really like it was being put out into the shop in piecemeal. Like the boxes are easy, that part's fast. So we cut all the boxes, assembled them in a couple days.
Cut the boxes on the new CNC?
Yep.
So that's your first big job, your first full job on that, with that?
Yeah, first big job, definitely. It was like 30 sheets of plywood, something like that. But then we made all the doors.
And you made the doors with the CNC?
Yeah.
So the door, what's the finish on this kitchen?
It's painted, except the island is walnut. Everything else is painted.
That's what kind of threw me, because I remember the walnut island.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a color called shaded white by Ferrum Ball. It's like a beigey kind of color.
Are you happy with the doors that you're making?
They look great, yeah.
And you're making those out of HDF?
HDM.
HDM.
Yep.
And HDM, what's the difference between?
It's high density machining grade MDF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really fine grained, doesn't really pop when you hit it with the paint. Even like Glacier Green, which is like a double refined or an HDF, it does like the grain raises, the grain raises, but the HDM it really doesn't.
And what's the price on that? Is there a price difference?
No, it's like basically the same. It's cheap. It's like less than $2 a square foot.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think it would be more.
Yeah.
So you design these doors, and I saw them. They call that a what?
Skinny shaker.
Skinny shaker.
Yeah. 1-inch rails and stiles with an 1/8-inch drop.
And you do that. Is that the drawer fronts as well?
Yeah. Top drawers are slab, and then anything below is.
Now, why is that? I was in a home yesterday, and they had the bottom drawers had a bead mold, like a bead detail, and the tops were slab.
It's pretty common, like especially in like shaker furniture.
Okay.
They did that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I should look, because I'd like to make shaker furniture, and I need to make something.
Mm-hmm.
I need to build a project for my channel. I said that I was going to upload the project video, I think the end of November, but I haven't even started it yet. And to do a project, I have to first kind of run it past Brian Benham to make sure it works with his schedule.
Yep.
So as I'm building, I'm making the plans, I send it to Brian, we have revisions along the build. Also trying to secure a sponsor for the project, because that way, even if the plans take a while to sell, you're getting a little bit of reimbursement. You're not just making a video, or if the video doesn't do well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the videos don't do well, or they do well over time. It's kind of funny. That does turn out to be sort of my best business practice, though, is to just continually add a new project to the plans. So I think I do have a sponsor with Waterlocks, and maybe I can even get, I'm looking at a can of Oxygen, Stephen from Oxygen, to get on board. But I have, because the kitchen threw me, just doing, just kind of getting all ready for that kitchen, and I was doing some other project, some other home project, I think.
What kind of doors and everything does that have?
Stainless steel.
Oh, cool.
So I'll show you, like, basically, it's a modular setup, and when they cast these pieces, they sink a piece of aluminum, like a aluminum channel, into the concrete casting as it's curing. And you basically put the parts together and you hold it together with stainless steel L brackets. And then for any longer parts, you use just another piece of aluminum channel to sort of connect those parts. And then everything gets finished with like a corner board.
Right.
So like where you have a butt joint, then a corner board goes on there and you just...
And it's concrete.
It's cast concrete. I think it's fiberglass reinforced. There's different finishes. So some of them have like a stone face. This is more of a simple sort of modern. Looks almost like a horizontal siding kind of thing. I think it's really nice, and the idea of like having to build your own masonry kitchen would be quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
And we assembled this whole thing in about 5 hours. So
I saw you had some good help.
yeah, they were good. You know, it's funny. I posted a picture, or Walter might have put it up, and I'm of course on the ground doing the work. And then my son Michael, who's always the funny guy, he's got a hard hat on and like
And
tape,
the drill.
yeah, two drills, tape measure, sunglasses. But they were not just good in helping carrying, but they were also staying on top of like what needed to be next.
Yep.
And
that's the biggest thing when you have somebody helping you. It's like, I need you to be one step ahead of me. So when I go like this, you're just putting that thing in my hand that I need.
Intuitive.
Yeah.
They need to be intuitive.
Yeah.
100%. So I was so proud of them because great attitude, which was really, great. That's like half the thing. Having a good time, working with your sons. It was like, I said to my wife, I said, wow, that was like a really great day. It's like they just all kind of came together. But everything has a QR code on it, so that you can watch a little video.
That's cool.
So like my oldest son, Jack, would, be kind of like, just kind of keeping things going. And the whole thing went together, like I said, in probably 5 hours. And it was pretty heavy stuff. Like, I think the countertop must have weighed, a couple 100 pounds.
Oh, well. I mean, that's what you want outside, too, is like you want it to be solid. So
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah, we had all that, I mean, I wasn't here. I was at Maker Camp, but all the wind and rain and stuff with that nor'easter.
That was on Sunday. So I had made the plan for everybody to start work at 9. It was raining at 9. And then it said, okay, you're going to get a window from like 10 to 3. So we started at 10:30, and it ended up being, we had a little bit of mist here and there. But then Sunday was the rainy day. Now, did you get rain in Maker Camp?
Yeah, so it rained. It rained like a tiny bit on Saturday night.
It looked
But
beautiful
just like,
up there from the
just
stories.
like a sprinkle, like just enough where like sitting around the fire, it was like a little bit of a nuisance, but you were staying like relatively dry from the fire. But Sunday night, it was a little bit rainy.
Sunday night at
not like super hard, and then Sunday, Monday, it was very rainy.
And you came home Monday?
Yeah.
What time did you leave Maker Camp?
Maybe like 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got back like 12:30.
It was a crummy day, so I went over to, because I was doing all this outdoor work, I was doing a couple of other things, probably just cleaning up after the storm too. This yard's, like I say to my family, like I'm the maintenance man here. You always have to, you always have to be on top of this place, or it just gets away from you. So I was probably cleaning up a little bit from that this week, but Monday I went over and did the mud work on the drywall.
Looks good.
I thought it was pretty good. I was wondering what you would think, because I've never used fiberglass.
I wanted to ask you about that, what you thought.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I cut a corner when I used that mesh tape. It's just so easy though, because you tape your seams out and then the mud goes in between them, but inevitably you always see it.
Yeah, I feel like I always like rip it too.
Yeah.
You know, if you like push too hard, the knife grabs it and like pulls it, and you get like weird strings and stuff. But yeah, you're talking about fibofuse is what it's called. It's like, yeah, I think it's just fiberglass tape.
I'm glad you mentioned to not touch your face
Yeah.
when you're working with it, because I could feel it on my hands from time to time, and you would get like, just like a little itch on your face, and I would remember, go get like wash your hands, get a paper cloth or something.
And cold water. You want to wash your hands with cold water.
Yeah.
Because the hot water opens up your pores and then it like goes inside. It's like fiberglass insulation.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. That stuff's great. I remember it, it's been out for probably, I don't know, I heard about it maybe 10 years ago now. Maybe a little bit more. Like it's supposed to be far more crack resistant than
I can see
paper
that.
tape.
Because it's really,
It fuses with,
Yeah.
I mean, like fibofuse, I guess that's the whole thing. It fuses with the mud versus the paper tape. It's like mud, paper, mud on top. It just doesn't seem like a good
it
bond.
kind of goes through a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the hardest seams are always the ones where it's where the butt joints, where you don't have the dimple.
Yeah, yeah.
Because those are just sort of like feathering in. So I think that this week, actually, I'll probably stop by on Monday to, you're going to get that sander?
Yeah, yeah.
To sand and mud, because especially with that sander with the vacuum, that'll be great.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Just
setting a
buzz
reminder
that.
right now.
And then I'll just give it another coat. And I think 2 coats might be enough.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's not like it's new framing where things are like shrinking and. Set my reminder to ask my father-in-law for that sander.
Why does he have a sander like that?
He was a remodeler, and I think he bought it to do something around the house.
Huh. Yeah, that's a great tool to have, because sanding the joint compound it's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, I have like a like a pole sander that has like a vacuum attachment, but I don't know. I can never seem to get like a good stroke. It like wants to like grab.
Well, I end up using my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
you gotta
you're
get
just
on
sort
the
of eating
ladder.
it.
Yeah.
You're just sort of like, I just put a mask on, put my hat on backwards, and just
Yeah, yeah.
sort of say, okay, this is what the day's going to be. Like, I have pictures of me renovating the house up in Vermont, just like covered
Oh yeah.
in that stuff. Doing
Gets in your eyes.
Yeah, your whole, it's just the worst.
Yeah.
So what
I've
else?
seen like, people on Instagram with like a surf prep sander, like, like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's
I can't imagine using an orbital sander like on the wall.
What are you going to do with the router that was sort of covering the seams? I didn't want to move
I
it.
had to pop it off. That's the like DVR for the security system.
Okay,
So eventually that'll go inside the cabinet.
okay.
But we can like, whatever, pull it off and
I didn't want to
tape
mess around
behind
with it.
Yeah. It's just one drywall screw holding it up.
Okay. So
Maybe
what
I'll-
else you working on?
We have a big commercial job we're working on. So we were on install for that on Wednesday of last week, installing the first part, and we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 or 7 areas in this building. So we were there Wednesday. We got pretty far. Leilani and Chris went back Thursday. I was in the shop for a couple hours before I left for Maker Camp.
How'd you like Maker Camp?
It was good. So I had Hunter with me. My wife came up Saturday. He had a lot of fun. So I did more this year than I have ever because I had him and he wanted to do stuff. So I was doing it with him.
So you did a little of the
Little welding, little sewing. He did some blacksmithing. Adam from Uncle Sam Metalworks. Uncle Sam. You guys know Adam, Uncle Sam. He was doing like blacksmithing for kids and like really took Hunter under his wing.
Oh,
Adam's
cool.
such a nice guy. He made some hooks with him, made a blacksmith knife, a bottle opener.
nice.
Yeah.
So you had a great time. It's really. Were there a lot of kids there?
Yeah, more than I've seen in the past.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It seemed to be more like family sort of oriented this year.
Big crowd?
Yeah, over 1,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw. Were there a lot of fireworks one night?
Saturday or Sunday. Sunday maybe?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed it. I would have loved to have gone. It's just nice to see everybody. But it was like Walter's been swamped. If you don't know my son Walter, he's my middle son. He's a machinist. He works now for a place called Central Metal Fabricators, but then he does his own thing. He doesn't get home until like 9 or 10 o'clock every night, and he's out the door at like 6:25. So he's just working all the time, and he does well, but yeah, he couldn't go. He was like, I'm swamped, and then I had the kitchen, and so he did help a little bit on the kitchen, but he had to leave to do a couple of jobs or meet with clients. So it's so funny. He's pretty intense because he was going to go meet with a client, and it's like maybe 2 o'clock. And I said, hey, thanks for all the help, Walter. And he turns around and he goes, are you being sarcastic? It's like, that's the last thing I'm going to do. My other two sons just started laughing because they know him. He's definitely intense.
Yeah, I get it. Like if I didn't have Chris and Leilani, it would have been a real struggle to, that would have been Thursday, Friday, and Monday that nothing was getting done.
It's great to have them there because I saw them while I was doing the mud work, and they were just head down getting stuff done.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Doing some painting.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not just painting, it's prepping and everything else that goes along with paint. Like, the funniest thing is when somebody says, oh, it's just a quick paint job. There's no such thing.
No, painting always goes sideways too. It's just always problems with finishing, always.
I agree. There's so many variables.
Yeah. We're like getting bubbles and stuff with the PPS gun. I don't know what's going on, but.
Are you using the Titan?
Yeah, so we ended up switching to the Titan. It's like, well, we don't have a lot to spray, so we'll just use the cup gun, and then it's like we're having problems, so we switched over to the Titan, and then no problems.
So there's your answer.
Yeah. So I have a call with Titan on Monday about them maybe wanting to send some CA Technology stuff. Which is like the
CA Technology. What is that?
It's like their industrial. So Wagner owns Titan and CA Technologies. It's their industrial line, more like a diaphragm, like a standalone diaphragm pump. Wow. Yeah.
So is that a major upgrade from what you're doing?
Yeah. Versus the 440, it's definitely a better setup. Cool.
So what do you think we're going to do with the next steps on the office remodel?
So once the spackle and sanding is done, we get some primer up on the walls. Probably we'll paint it, whatever.
Just roll it. Should I reach out to Wagner and see if we can get one of those crazy things?
We could.
I mean, I don't know. You've seen them, right? It like feeds the roller or something.
Oh yeah. It's like a. I think they might have different ones, but I know they have like attachments for airless sprayers that actually like spray the wall and then you roll behind it. I mean, that's like if you spray like a house with an airless sprayer, a lot of the times you're back rolling it. So like you spray it and then you roll it.
So two guys, or somebody just doing it on their own?
I don't know. Thankfully, I'm not a painter, so I don't know the full process, but I know that's a pretty common technique.
What do you think the timeline is if we get the office painted by, let's say this time, not maybe a week from Monday? Mm-hmm. When do we start building cabinets?
Yeah, at any point.
All right. And what do you think, to do the left side first and then deal with the wraparound? Or do you kind of want to have that all going at one time?
The
wraparound...
It doesn't hurt to build the cabinets. We don't have to have doors on the wraparound part, but to build all the boxes at once,
As far as like different products from Van Dyke's, we're thinking countertop, backsplash,
meshes, handles.
So do you see making new cabinets or just new doors and drawer fronts?
Like when we do different products?
Yeah.
Probably just doors.
Yeah, okay. Drawer fronts too?
I guess it depends. Depends on what you need to show. If you need to show a new handle. If it's a knob, you got one hole, you change out the knob. Or if it's a mesh,
well, what about painting,
you can take
though?
the mesh out.
Sometimes we might want to see it different color cabinet.
Yeah.
And you're thinking frameless cabinets? Or we don't know yet?
100%. Because, if you want to change the color, you have to do frameless.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to be painting the frames.
I was in a home yesterday, really done very well. They were all framed cabinets. Mm-hmm. You're saying you don't see too many of those these days?
Less and less. We build frameless to look like frame inset. The savings is a lot.
There's just so much more work in a frame cabinet.
Oh yeah, 100%. And your frames are projecting into your cabinet opening, so they get banged up putting things in and out, and if your doors are wood, your gaps might, fluctuate through the seasons. And
So with a frameless cabinet, though, your door is always over the frame. It's never an inset door.
I mean, you could build a frameless cabinet with an inset door.
But you probably wouldn't because it's just a 3/4 inch.
Yeah, and then, when you butt a cabinet next to it, then you have 1.5 inches in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, to me, I always go, it just seems like it's a much more traditional look having the frame.
Yeah. I mean, frameless has been around for close to 100 years now, but...
All right. Sounds like...
It is more traditional, yes, but if we want to have flexibility...
Now, if you get it...
Frame inset is
Do you try to talk your clients out of frame cabinets? Or does the designer... Do you have that conversation with the designer? How do you get to the point where you decide, okay, we're doing frameless?
If it's cabinetry, I don't even offer inset, I won't even bring it up.
But if the designer or the client says, I want a frame, you're going to do it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we've done a ton of frame inset.
I know you have.
I mean, that's all we used to do.
But I was wondering if you're just trying to shy away from that.
I'd rather not do it. I can make more money doing frameless cabinets.
And the banding on all your frameless cabinets is always done on the edge bander.
Yep.
And if it's a painted cabinet, you're using some kind of an acrylic,
PVC.
PVC.
Yeah.
And you're matching the PVC to the color of the paint. Is that going to be
as close as possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't really see it because the door's shut.
Right. Yeah. The only time you see it's when the door's open. But there's so many colors of edge banding that usually you can get very, very close.
Do you end up with like rolls and rolls of edge banding that like you just like don't have any use for now?
Yeah, we have some. Usually we try and run it down to like just a tiny bit and then just get rid of it, or we use it for shop stuff.
Okay.
So like if you go to the shop, if you look at the cabinets, it's all leftover edge banding from.
What's the price on like a roll of vinyl edge banding? Does it fluctuate in color?
Depends on the thickness, the length. So like a 300-foot roll of 1 millimeter PVC, like just white, I want to say is like $50, $60.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there's no delamination worry with that at all.
Oh no, no. Once it's edge banded, you couldn't rip that edge banding off. You'd have to sit there with a heat gun and heat it up, and then get the edge lifted, and then you really need a lot of leverage to be able to pull it off without heating the hole. You would need enough to grab it with your whole hand and rip it off, or grab it with pliers and rip it off.
So that was a big investment, the
yeah.
edge bander, but definitely a necessary one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we use it on every job.
Yeah, okay. And how is it is it any irks and quirks? Are you kind of tuned in? And
no, it's been pretty good.
Do you find you're not using the panel saw as much now because you got the CNC?
No, we still use it a lot because a lot of times we're building stuff that needs to like sort of be done in like the more custom stuff has to be done like in stages. So like you build the cabinet and then you might need to cut some more parts because you need to like put a tape on it and make sure that everything is coming out to the right dimensions. Like with material thickness, the overall width is always like a little bit variable, So we're still cutting a lot on the Streebig. Anything that needs to get cut in the shop for something is getting cut on the Streebig. I'm not going to go program a file to cut out that rectangle of plywood. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we're just cutting that on the Streebig.
And the saw stop, you use that. I guess you always need a table saw just to make rips.
Sometimes it's just easier to use that.
Yeah, just necessary.
You need repeatable. So like you can cut. If I need to cut, we built some floating shelves. It's 1/4 inch glacier green with like a ribbed
Saw those
interior.
They were
So
painting
it's all
them.
1-inch strips. To do that on the Streebig, you cut 1 inch off the top. You got to reset your thing to 1 inch again. Cut it again. With that, you set the fence to 1 inch. And you just rip your pieces.
All right.
So some things it's the table saw is easier.
And what is your hope with the CNC? Like, what in a perfect world, what would you be doing with that CNC a year from now?
Building cabinets in the shop that somebody else picks up and puts.
That's the goal.
That's what I would love. Yeah.
And that way you'd get away from finishing and everything.
Yeah, I would love to get out of finishing. I didn't even think
Do
of
you
that.
think
But
you'll
yeah,
get a finisher? Do you think you'll kind of go that route? A lot of people do.
you know, my shop is tough to finish in. It's not really set up that well.
Because
We
it's
have
in
a
part of
booth.
the building.
Yeah, we have a booth and everything, but like drying is a problem because it's sort of just in the middle of the
Sure.
shop. And yeah, if I could have an outside finisher, that would be great.
Have you looked for one?
I have not recently. Um, I would like I got a couple leads on like installers, so I'm hoping to try someone out for installation.
Did you ever? Are you friends with the outfit that Walter worked with? That cabinet shop. Remember he worked at a cabinet shop.
New Horizon.
Yeah. Do you know those
I
guys
don't know.
over there?
I ran into them over the years, back when I was like a carpenter.
Does Tom use an outside finisher?
No.
So he does all his finishing. The finishing's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about the X factor. You never know, like
Could be the
everything-
temperature, could be the
Yeah.
material, could be the air, the gun.
And you don't do it all. Like a finisher, no. It's,
Yeah.
It's like a finisher is also like a chemist.
Mm-hmm.
They take all those variables in and they get it done right.
Yep.
I'm wondering, that guy Russell who works for Timber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Timber's doing at all,
Yeah.
but it could be like that could be something. Maybe they'd want to do finishing.
Yeah.
They have the setup for it.
Yeah. They have a pretty big booth.
And he's a good finisher,
Mm-hmm.
and he seems to know like all the different types of products that they use. A lot of they're not just using acrylic bases; they're using all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of like candy coat type stuff.
But they do. But I
It's
think
more like automotive painting over there.
I think you're right. But I think they can do. I think
Oh
Russell
yeah,
can
I mean
do
if you
just
could
about
paint a
anything.
car, you can
Yeah.
paint cabinets.
Yeah, if you could kind of get out of that and just like the idea of maybe even making flat pack cabinets
Mm-hmm.
where you just
Yeah, I have, so I've had a Facebook Marketplace listing up for a while for just that, the way I used to buy parts from
Okay.
like that guy Steve. And I have like a bunch of leads, but again, now I'm like too busy to even like deal with like trying to figure out drawings for these people. But that would be something I would like to do too, cut parts. They're stacked flat on a pallet. You come pick them up, put them together at your shop or at the job site, whatever.
I did a job like that years ago in I forget the name, Seagirt.
Mm-hmm.
We got the cabinets, we got all the parts from someplace in North Carolina, and then we just had to assemble everything and put it all together. And it was a lot of work for the finished carpenters,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it turned out really nice. It looked great.
But versus trying to build it yourself, it's way less work,
Well, plus you're out of the equation.
Yeah.
You just go and you make all the parts, and now you can go like this.
Right.
Like you don't have to be there. Like, hey, this door's not opening correctly
Mm-hmm.
now. That's not your issue. That's the
Right.
builder's issue.
Yeah. It's like, well, you put it together wrong.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's enough builders around here where I think that you get your foot in the door with two builders.
Even just like small built-ins and stuff doesn't have
That's
to
what
be
I
a whole
mean.
kitchen. Just like your little mud room thing that you build, or I used to do so many closets when I was a finish carpenter. Just like cleats and shelves and poles and all that stuff. Like if I had someone to cut those parts for me, you're cutting full sheets of plywood, running dados with a router in some room in somebody's house.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, I think that's a great business model. I mean, I totally think you can get into it. It's just a matter of, sticking with it a little bit more and getting those. I think once you deal with one builder and do 2 or 3 projects, it's just going to be like constant.
Yeah.
And that'd be great because then you're just working on the computer,
Right.
feeding that machine.
Uh-huh.
I think that's exciting.
Yeah. I'd like to get into more automation. Like, if I could have a business model like that, I could invest in a flat line finishing system. So then you're not worrying about painting. It's going through a machine. It's coming out painted on the other side.
Yeah, because then you're doing less of the other stuff, so you're going to be able to get some of that space back.
Right.
Because like your shop,
Oh, there's no room for it now.
it's so funny when you got that shop. What is it, 5,200?
4,900 square feet.
Okay, I was like, holy cow, this is a big shop.
Now.
Now it's like the walls are just closing in.
Yeah, like, the other day I'm like, I don't even have a table to work on. Like everything, we're full.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna have to move your van around the corner just to use that little spot
Yeah.
as a workspace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to see. Yeah, maybe I could park. I don't want to leave it outside though. That's a problem.
Anything else going on you want to talk about? Or you want to wrap it up?
I think that's all I got.
That's all I got. I'll keep you posted on the kitchen. I'll probably weave a few pictures of the kitchen into this video. I don't know. We pretty much weaved in the photographs of the office renovation. It's not much to see until the cabinets start. I do think I'm gonna have to try to reach out to somebody for the floor, because the floor is definitely an issue.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, the floors. I mean, the ceiling is rough. Oh, I know what I was going to mention to you. I know you mentioned coming down 9 feet to basically not see that air conditioning. That's the main reason for 9 feet? Because I'd like the ceilings to be taller.
Yeah.
If for artwork or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can go up, you can do like a piece of artwork or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can box. You can.
That's what I was thinking.
box
Just
that thing
box
out.
that thing out
Yeah.
and just go to 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you have like a nice high ceiling.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of
you
makes
even
that.
go 11 feet. you know.
Yeah.
They're
I
12 feet now, so.
I would go as high as you can.
Just come under that beam. That way you don't have to deal with the beam,
Yeah.
which is like maybe 10, 12 inches.
I was just thinking that when I was mudding, I was just like, wow, I'd rather have the ceilings high and just box this thing out, paint it white, you'll never see it.
Yeah. Pad the whole wall out.
It has to
Bury it back there.
be. Oh yeah, well, what is that, like only 2 or 3 inches
Yeah,
out?
it doesn't stick in very far.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.